So we're going to be venturing further down the rabbit hole, only this time we're going to test Azure instead of AWS. The last video we left off with, we extended our on-site infrastructure to cloud computing services, infrastructure as a service, using AWS. As promised, today we will focus on Azure. There's a couple of different ways you can get started. Right now I'm just going to go over how it was set up. I'll go more into detail and we'll actually set one up together. Right now this is more of a proof of concept and another test run because I'm still a little rusty with the videos. So there's not going to be a lot of editing, and a lot of this stuff is from the template source code that Microsoft has provided, and I can share that link in the post. Here is the script that you can obtain, and once you connect to the subscription or the Azure PowerShell module, all you have to do is run this script and everything will be created for you, automated for you, I should say. You do want to make sure you have the proper information for your firewall, such as your gateway IP address for your internal network, or I'm sorry, the public IP address for your internal network, along with your subnets. That's very important because you can have the connection, but if you don't have the right subnets for your on-premise network subnets, then it will not work. It'll say connected, but it will not transmit or communicate between sites. So this is two separate geographical locations that we're basically connecting. In this instance, I'm pretty sure we used the Western US Azure data center. You can also use East US. You want to use whatever site is closest to you. The objective is to prevent or decrease latency, or the likelihood of latency for customers and end users. That's why we still are deploying hybrid environments, because we can ensure that we are providing quality service to our customers. When you have your data center right nearest to your end users, they will have the best possible experience you can give them, and then take advantage of some of the awesome cloud computing services out there for scalability and business continuity purposes. So anyways, here we go. Here's the script, and we're gonna hop on. Actually, what we'll do real quick is we will create a virtual network. Here is okay, that's not it. Okay, we're actually gonna, so as you can see, it's connected. Very good. And I think I already have one VM created. So what we'll do is we're going to create another one. And we're going to make sure we put it in the right resource group, which is test-rg1. And we'll call this one Azure DM1 for Azure Domain Member Server 1. East US, we'll leave it in that region. We'll leave that default. We'll just standard for now because we don't need anything fancy. And we'll leave that default for now. We'll just make sure we turn it off when we're finished. For this lab, I'm just picking on Marvel characters for the time being. If it doesn't like your password, it will yell at you. We're going to leave 3389 open for the time being because we're going to want to access that through RDP. We're going to leave it standard SSD. We're going to leave this default. And we're going to go to networking, and it should put it in the VNet 1. That's very important that we leave it in that VNet because we want to make sure it's on that subnet. So very good, basic. We're going to select this option because we'll delete this VM later on. so we're not accruing costs. And this is where budgeting and business and accounting really kind of play a critical factor, because you have to have that type of mindset when you're monitoring these systems, because costs will increase the more you build. So we're going to go to next for monitoring. We're going to disable this. We don't need unnecessary diagnostics for this purpose. We'll review and create. Validation passed. Now we will create. Hopefully my mic's working. Test. Oh, I hope it is. Okay, so it's creating. And usually it's pretty quick. And what we'll do right now is we will hop on one of our VMs. This is our domain controller 1. And this is actually the current VM that we have. And that's an Azure VM. So hopefully this will be done here in a second. All right, very good. So we can go directly to resource. And yeah, unfortunately, it's probably going to show you that, and I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to edit it out, maybe. But the good news is we could actually remove the public IP address and use Azure Bastion to connect and manage remotely. But we're probably not even going to need that, because it's going to be able to, we can manage this from our internal network. And that's what we're going to end up doing. So let's connect RDP. And we're going to, actually, you know what? Let's go to private IP address, download RDP file, and we'll save it to our desktop. And let's see if it will actually connect. Oh, look at that. Very cool. All right. So the username was Black Widow. Beautiful. Now, if I did not have that site-to-site working, it would not connect. You'd have to connect using the public IP address, and then configure the rules on the Azure VM management side to kind of lock down traffic. With this, we will be able to remove the public IP address and just use the private IP. So now we can go through and add this to our domain. Before we do anything, we'll make sure we set this to Eastern Standard Time. And it might actually do that once I add it to the domain. So I'm just logging into it for the first time. It might take a few seconds to load. Very good. Updates should almost be fully up to date. We're going to leave all the settings default for the time being. We will go ahead and turn this off because it's kind of annoying. And we don't really we're not using Internet Explorer these days. I mean, some places still are. In fact, it'll probably be around for a little bit longer. But we're going to try to avoid using it at all costs. we're going to change VM to, actually first let's try to ping our internal network, which is dc1.contoso.com. Okay, that's alright. It's okay. So let's try to ping. Alright, very good. So that is the gateway to our internal network. So let's try to ping the domain controller. Very good. So hopefully we can add it and not get any. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I'm a liar. So what we'll have to do is just make sure that we add the DNS on our interface, virtual interface. And we'll just put Google in there for now. Probably don't even need that. And let's try to do this again. So honestly, I probably didn't even have to use caps lock. Sometimes you just got to be a little patient and give it time. Right now, I'm a little I'm kind of in a hurry, so we'll actually have to use the domain account. And we'll just have to give it a second. This is what I mean by latency. This is one of the disadvantages of cloud computing infrastructure as a service. Unless you have dark fiber, or then you should be okay. But you want to kind of plan ahead for this type of project. And we're going to restart now. We're going to hop on the VM here. Yep, very good. It disconnected. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. We're going to close this, and we're going to jump over here. So this is one of the VMs that we have. So we can go ahead and add this to our domain as well. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not. And this just might need a simple reboot. So we'll stick with what's working. And there it is, very good. So we'll move that over to our servers OU. Yes. And that should be rebooting as we speak. And let's see if we can go ahead and add it. Might not show up right away, especially if it's rebooting. Oh, wow, that was quick. All right, so let's see if we can remote into it. All right. Overall, the Azure experience is awesome. And you can even download templates based on what type of uh, firewall appliance that you're using. Uh, Juniper, Palo Alto, Cisco, Unify or Ubiquiti, Cisco Meraki, Fortinet, FortiGate, etc. So there it is. That's it. I'm not going to go too much further into detail. I'm already way ahead on time, or over my time limit. And if you look, we can actually check out the traffic management side on our VPN connection. Maybe. Where was it? There we go. So we can see egress. That's from adding the domain, and it's capturing packets, and make sure and there's a healthy connection. So if we go to VPN troubleshoot, healthy, very good. Okay, that's it. I need to get to work. So I hope this is informative. We will definitely continue and really get into it. Not really get into it, but we'll do a couple more labs on this, and it's pretty cool stuff. So hope everyone has a wonderful Thursday, and we'll see you soon.